I don't know if this story resonated with people the way that it resonated with me, but they caught the Pennsylvania convict that escaped and everything. All right, did you already know about this? Okay, so some of y'all didn't, so I'll explain it very quickly. Very, very quickly, I'll try to give you the rundown on what happened. Basically, there was this guy, and you can watch it, they released the footage of this dude escaping prison, right? He escaped prison, okay? So then this dude walks up. I should also mention, when I saw the escape, I was rooting for him to be like a burglar or like you know what I mean? Like something that you could bank rob or something you could really get in the story. Turns out he's a murderer. So I was like, please find him immediately. Please, please, please. He is killed. He is a killer, all right? And the worst part about him being a killer is he little. So he is a little killer, and that is the scariest type of killer. Bro, you are big. If you stood up to kill me, I'd be like, that makes sense. I'm getting killed by a man right now. You know what I mean? Like if a big man goes to kill, that looks like what he want to do anyway. Like if you a big dude and you kill, that all makes sense. But if you a little killer, if you just walking, I'm like, like that's... Cause I don't know who he killed, what he did, but all I know is he a killer and he little, so it must have felt like Chucky coming at you when he was coming. Doesn't even feel like he take regular steps. He feel like they do that wind up toy shit, you know what I'm talking about? Where he's like, murder, you know what I mean? And so I was freaked out by that. I was like, once they told me he was a killer, I was like, please catch him quick. So this is what he did. So basically, he walks up to two pillars that are in the prison, right? And he put his hand on one pillar. And he put his foot on the other pillar. And then this motherfucker moonwalked up until he got to the roof. I've only seen Jackie Chan do that in Rumble in the Bronx and Looney Tunes. Those are the only two that I've seen moonwalk up two pillars like that. And he did it like it was nothing. And then he jumped off the like side of the building, was on the roof, jumped over that wire, jumped off the building, and then ran into the bushes and stuff. And they couldn't find him because he little. Okay. And this is the worst part. Okay, so he's so little that they locked down everybody. They made everyone in a wide radius stay inside. They were like, don't. Yeah, it was where?
It was in my parents' backyard.
He was in your parents' backyard? Ooh, okay, all right. So I'm gonna tell them the rest of the story, and then I gotta, no, okay. So I'm gonna tell, so then, okay. All right, so then this motherfucker is out, right? And so then they lock everybody down in a radius because they don't want anybody to leave the house because he's so little, they don't know where he could be. So he's so little that he could be under sinks. He could be in cabinets. They have no idea where this man could be. They were like, don't go outside. Don't go for your little run because when you come back in, he could be in your pants leg. He is just that little. This man is tiny as hell, all right? He's so little. Stay where you are. And they even locked down school. And a lot of people were upset and didn't understand why they did that. But I did. I got it immediately. He little. All he needs is a backpack and he one of the kids. Now he's even harder to find. Is he under a sink? Is he in home economics class? Like, where is it? So then, all right. So then this is as far as I know and what I saw, but I'm going to get a little bit more confirmation in a second. So then the way that they found him was also hilarious because then they found him, right? And they were using this like infrared to track where he could be because they knew he was in the woods, and him being in the woods makes the story even funnier. I'm not gonna lie, because him being in the woods like a Keebler elf, just like a little murdery, like, you know what I mean? So then they get the infrared. Then they find a pattern that they think is him. Then they release the like manhunt dogs, right? And so I'm not a cop. I don't really know what goes into it, but from what I've heard, this might be bad information. I'm just telling you what I heard, all right? The manhunt dogs aren't like the drug dogs. These dogs only get to go out to do manhunt stuff. So if they not on manhunt, they bored, right? So then they release these dogs. These dogs could not be happier. These dogs were out like, yes! The dogs were, you can see it on a dog's face, this is what we play for! This was the Super Bowl for those dogs, right? They were like, yeah! And so then the dog, like one of the dogs caught him, right? And they caught him. Like the dog got him, but got him. Like got him on the head. And the dog biting his whole head is just a testament to how little he is. Like, I'm surprised the dog didn't swallow him. Like, your whole head fit in the dog's mouth like a lion circus act? That's insane. He was in your parents' backyard. So, okay, and for a little while? Or, like, how long was he in? And when he was in the backyard, was he just in between two blades of grass? Like, how did y'all not?
Ran through, and like cops let them know the next day, but it was like a night.
Oh, so he ran through your parents' backyard, and then the cops came to your parents the next day, and they were like, listen, he little and he was here. Which is not reassuring at all. It's like for a cop to come to your house and be like, this little motherfucker was here. And we still don't know where he is. He could still be here, all right? Check your collar, check behind your ear. Is he there? This was the littlest manhunt we've ever been on. It was like they were looking for Stuart Little. It was crazy. In your parents' back, and were your parents like freaked out by that? Oh, they weren't freaked out?
We locked our doors, so it was fine.
Your parents are like, we locked our doors, so it's all good. We closed the windows, it's fine. Was your dad acting like tough about it?
Absolutely not.
Oh, your dad? Okay. I thought maybe your dad would be like, I'm gonna step on that little motherfucker when I see him. Like, no, wow. Ooh. Oh, it almost feels weird to change the subject now, but I'm gonna try. I know. What do I do now? So, look. Confidence Confidence is not a meritocracy. One of the things that hurts men in their lives more than anything is not having confidence. And some men have so much confidence, and it's like completely unearned. You're like, where did it come from? Did it fall out of the sky and hit them? Was it like an asteroid? Where did they get this confidence? I'll give you an example. This happened last night, right? I was on a walk, right? I just got some ice cream, a little sorbet, okay? I'm on my walk, I'm enjoying my strawberry sorbet, and I see next to me two beautiful, like truly, truly beautiful women, right? And we're all about to cross the street. And then as I was looking over at them, past them, I saw one of the raggiest dudes I've ever seen in my entire life, right? And he was on a bike, but it looked like a city bike, but it looked like it used to be a city bike. You know what I mean? You know, like when a city bike really been through it to where even city bike is like, you can keep this one. We don't. Like it looked decommissioned. Like it's like it wasn't even blue anymore. It was just busted looking. And he on the bike, right? And so then it wasn't. I mean, maybe it wasn't even a city bike because it had a chain on. Anyway, so he's riding the bike. Okay, and he rides up to where the three of us are standing, and he immediately shoots his shot with these two women. I've never had broke bike shooting my shot confidence at two women who look done up. Like they look like they just got, like it must be one of their birthdays or something. They look incredible. And he rolled up and he did the thing where he tried to slow down and he wanted to swerve on him. You could tell he wanted to swerve, but he couldn't get the handlebars in the right position. So, you know, he wanted to be like he wanted to like, you know what I mean? He wanted to like flip on him. But instead he was just like, how y'all doing, ladies? How y'all doing? And so all three of us turned. And I don't know why I turned. Like, but all three of us turned. And then he just proceeded to lay it on thick. He's like, how you doing? Y'all looking good tonight? And it's like, it was one of those things where I was like, where is it coming from? But then I thought to myself, I'm like, the place that misplaced confidence really comes from is it's a numbers game. Every man knows that it's a numbers game. And you have to remove your emotions from it because he knows in his head, if they say no to him, that literally just makes sense. So we can only go up from here. You wonder why raggedy dudes try it on with you? It's because they know you should say no. On the off chance you having a bad night, your confidence fucked up, you don't really have hope, and you say yes, that's my night. And so they at first they were going to ignore him, but then they saw that the light wasn't turning because we still had 20 seconds on this other one. So we knew it was going to be 20 seconds. So he's like, how y'all doing? Everything good? You want to hang out? What y'all doing later and everything? And then they were like, oh, no, we're good. Thank you so much and everything. And then he was like, all right, I mean, you missing out when you're not hanging out with Leroy. He said his name in the third person. Like, that's the confident. Anyway, so then he's like, you're missing out if you're not out with Leroy. And then he went to like start up again, and you could tell you want to do the like when you're on a bike and you try to really get one going so you get high on it so you can really come down. So he tried to get high on it, and right then the chain broke, and so the chain broke on the bike, and then he just, without saying a word, just sort of got off the bike and started walking the bike away. He was like, all right, y'all missing out, but all right. One of my favorite like types of stories in the world are snitch stories. You know what I mean? Like when somebody is part of a criminal organization and they turn and they try to like not get caught. So, and I think it's because I'm a snitch. I am. Like, I'm such a snitch that when I was little, no kids wouldn't let me do dirty stuff with them because they were like, you gonna tell. And I was like, yeah, I would. Yeah. You're not even wrong. I really would. I would panic. I'd tell everybody. I'd tell everybody everything. I'd probably tell them stuff that didn't even happen. I'm telling them just to make the story feel full. My favorite snitch story of all time was this guy was in a gang, and he got caught on some unrelated stuff, and then he turned state's evidence. Right? So then he started working with police, became a confidential informant, and was giving them everything on the gang as an enterprise. And then the day came that they had planned for so long. He was supposed to give them the time and the place to meet where the stash house was, when the stash house would have the most money, the most guns, and have everybody there. And so the day came, he called the police. Police bust in, and they're arresting everybody, and they're seizing everything. And there's video that leaked of it that then became part of a little documentary on it. And you can see in the thing that the cops, when they're busting in, forgot to arrest him. And so he knows he needs to be arrested. So as the cops are even running past him, he's like, oh no! Ow! Oh my God! What is happening? Ooh, y'all, they got us. Oh no! And there's a little subtitle on the thing where the man is sitting on his hands, uncuffed, whispering to the cop, "Motherfucker, cuff me. What are you doing? You trying to get me killed?" Man, you all have been so fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm Josh Johnson.
I've been trying to make more friends, and I feel like sometimes the way the friendship starts can be unsettling, because friends have a responsibility to each other, and sometimes the responsibility comes before the friendship. So something happens, and then you're like, oh, as a friend, I should step up. But I don't know what type of friends we are, so I don't know if I have to step up like this, because this is the first test. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is where we find out if we're friends or people who have each other's number. I was in an Uber, and when I was in the Uber, got chatting with my driver. You know, it was a long ride to the airport, so we're just over here, you know, commiserating about some stuff. We just talked about politics, talked about like background, everything, how we grew up and stuff. And then I heard a noise, and it was like it had like I don't know how to describe this because I don't know cars that well, but just know that, just imagine, I want you to close your eyes and imagine you're in a car and it's going so this car's choking on what, I don't know. But he's just talking, and he's just going on, and I'm asking him what I try when I ask people questions, to ask interesting questions, not just a regular, like, how's your day going? Just like something, especially if you give me some information about yourself. So I'm asking him some more questions about, you know, like where he grew up and what his dynamic is with his family now that he's moved away versus like what he thought it'd be when he was younger. And he's telling me, because I'm asking these elaborate questions, but the whole time all I can really hear is like, oh. I didn't want to interrupt him, but finally I had to be like, yo, dog, do you hear your car right now? Like you drive it every day, so like maybe it just does this at 3 p.m. and you don't pay it any mind, but like this is concerning because it sounds like it's happening under me. And then finally I'm like, hey, can you hear your car? And he's like, oh yeah, that's weird, right? I was like, in my head, I'm like, have you been hearing it the whole time? And you just weren't going to say anything if I didn't say anything? And then we broke down. Yeah, the car broke down. And the way the car broke down is it wasn't all at once, but we started to go slow when I could tell his foot was on the gas. Like I could see him like kind of giving it a little bit, and we were still coming to a stop. And so I was looking out the windows and everything because I noticed all the other cars were going pretty fast. And finally we stopped, and he's like, oh man, oh, I guess it was really serious. And now I don't know what to say in this situation because I'm like, yeah, I guess so, but I don't know anything about cars. Like, I wish I was that dude that could be like, we'll be out of here in a jiff, pop the hood. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I knew about cars so bad. Sometimes I see cars and I'm like, I think the engine's in the front. Like, I don't know anything about cars at all. Like, even when they change the oil, I never really know what they're doing. You know, I used to go to Pep Boys with my mom, and then she'd get the oil change, and they pull that stick out. I don't know why they have to have a stick in there to make sure there's oil in there. They pull a stick out, and they look at it with the rag and be like, seems dirty. And then they just put it back. I don't even know what they were looking for. I thought they were looking for like how deep the oil went on the stick, but then I was like, that can't be it, because they were looking at like the quality of the oil or something. They put it back. And so once we broke down, I was like, dang, yeah. This has never happened to me before. And he was like, this has never happened to me before. Man. What are we gonna do? I was like, we? Do you know what I mean? Like, this is the moment where if your friends, this is where a friend steps up and is like, but I still had to get to the airport. Like, I was like, hey, I'm gonna call Lyft. Because in the moment, it felt best to switch apps. Like, I know this is one car, but in the moment, it felt like a whole thing. So I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and get a Lyft. And so I ordered a Lyft while we waited in the car. And I felt, the whole time I felt, wow, I was like, should I offer to give him a ride? Like, no, I just mean he was giving me a ride. And then my Lyft came, and you know, the pickup spot is you usually standing outside. That's why that felt bad for my Lyft driver, because this dude pulls up and sees me get out of a car. Pop the trunk, grab my suitcase, lean over to him. Can you pop your trunk? Then I sit in his car and we drive off, and then I look back and my Uber driver waved. I was like, am I a bad friend? I didn't know we had a responsibility to each other like this. I'm sorry. Man, what was I supposed to do? I was late now. Even when I've been with friends that I've known for long, like, you know, you just stay decently in touch and everything, or you see each other once in a while. Like I used to live in Chicago, and sometimes I go back and visit Chicago, and I see my friends that I made when I was there, and we only see each other when I'm there. You know, they don't really come to New York, and I don't really meet up with them anywhere else. When I'm back in Chicago, we make sure to hang out. And I was with my boy, just walking, going to get some food, and out of nowhere, a mini drone, you know, like the toy, it fell out of the sky, fell on him, right? Like hit him in the head. And I wish I was better in a crisis, because when it happened, okay, so when it hit his head, I went for cover too fast. Like but in my mind, I'm like, drone's falling. Like, how am I supposed to know it's just this one? How am I supposed to not target and attack? Maybe they were trying to get me. I talk very reckless about the administration. I'm over here, maybe this one was meant for me. I know it's like child size. It wasn't like the full spy drone. You know, the big old drone that was like when those drones were over New Jersey and everybody could hear them. They were like playing loud. It wasn't one of those. It was really one of the ones you would get, you know, Christmas Day. And then you go out and, yeah. And yeah, no, thing came out of nowhere, hit him in the head. And by the time he grabbed his head to react, because it hit him hard, so he was clearly hurt, when he looked up to turn back to me, we were walking on the sidewalk together, but by the time he looked up at me again, I was under an awning that was like... Look, I hate being a coward, but it makes you fast. You know what I mean? Like, I was really knees to chest with it. I wasn't even sure it hit him by the time I ran. Like, man, you ever start dodging before something even coming at you? Oh! Dad. And once again, my friend over there, and he even had like a touch, like a little touch of blood from a cut, like behind his ear and everything. And he was looking at this thing, it's in pieces, shattered. And he, you know, I knew I had better self-preservation skills than he did, because this is the one, he the dude that got hit. And it still took him a while to be like, this dude got hit, was like, oh. When you've been hit from above, don't look up. Are you out of your mind? That's where the trouble came from. This dude got hit in the head from above and then was like, is there more? So he looked over at me like, I was like, get over it. He came under the awning. He was like, once again, I had a friend ask me, what are we gonna do? And I'm not proud of it. But I told him, I was like, it seemed like they after you. Whoever this is, I don't have anything to do with this. I don't live here anymore. I'm not going down with you. It's very important, especially as men, that we hold on to, we maintain strong friendships. It's very important, because on our own, like really solo, isolated, men, we don't do well. Because when we don't have friends, when we isolate ourselves as men, we do end up, you know, shooting. It's true. Yeah. At least if you have friends, you're like, hey, y'all want to go shoot targets together? You know? It is still very difficult and a skill to just have the courage to walk up to a person that you may never see again, that you don't have to have anything to do with, and become friends. You know, like I even look at myself, and I have friends through comedy that I wouldn't have met if it wasn't for comedy, because comedy is the thing, that's the main thing we had in common. We wouldn't have been friends outside of comedy, because we just would have never run into each other in any other space, in any other way. And that goes for people who do lots of different things, people who do music, any special interest. This might be the one thing where you met this person you would have not met otherwise. I said all that to say I could not have imagined if you gave me all the time in the world and a list of anyone who had ever lived that Kid Rock and RFK Jr. would be this close.
This is wild. This is like, I did not see this coming. Kid Rock and RFK Jr.'s friendship is out of this world. I've truly never seen anything like it. I've seen plenty of like middle-aged to older men become friends, but the way that they have bonded feels different. It feels very different. They put out an ad. They put out an ad, and for those of you who have not seen the ad, it's gonna sound like I'm lying until you watch the ad. You have to watch the ad to believe what I'm telling you, but this happened. And I cannot be one of the few people that knows about it. It went viral. This is what's annoying about viral now, is that it went viral in a way that still didn't hit everybody enough for everybody to talk about it. Because then there were people who saw it that you could see that day who saw it and who hadn't seen it. Because the people who saw it were like... Everyone who saw it looked like somebody poured Sprite in their eyes. Like, it was... I remember I was watching. It was confusing the more they think. Okay, so RFK Jr., I think his next move is like, hey, let's get these ads out there. Let people know that they should be healthy. Which is usually something you have to make an advertisement for. Like... I can't believe they're spending real money. They're spending like Super Bowl commercial level money to be like, yay, yo, hey, remember apples? No, yo, hey, look, they still here. Don't forget apples, all right? Like, put the Oreos down. We're not going to do anything to take all of the toxic chemicals out of the candy and the cookies and the stuff, but put it down, even though it's incredibly addictive. Pick up an apple that's probably genetically modified. Just apple. Just remember apple. And so this ad starts with Kid Rock and RFK Jr. shirts off, right? If I had to see it, you have to hear it. Over here, groaning already. It's gonna be a long night if you're over here. No, it starts out with RFK Jr. and Kid Rock, the two beacons of health. Like two of the healthiest people I've ever seen. If you had just met people and then you saw them, you'd be like, that's people and health right there. The ad, it starts with RFK Jr. and Kid Rock flexing shirtless for a different camera. They're not looking at the camera filming them. They're over here.
Now we gotta watch it.
And look. The olive branch that I do have to it is true. It is just a fact that RFK Jr. is like 70 and he is ripped. That is happening. He does have muscle. It does look like somebody poured it into a mold of a person, but it is muscle. Like he is. No, you know what I mean. Okay. No. Anybody here who grew up on dollar store toys knows that general toy that they made. You know that toy that they clearly used like the Superman mold for, but they didn't have the copyright for Superman, and so he was like Mr. Man, And so then they poured the plastic in that mold, and they didn't even make him white. He was like pink, like it was like that. It was like RFK Jr. looked like if a raisin did push-ups. Like he does have the muscle. Like you can see with his shoulders and everything, his arms. Like, all right, he has the muscle, and it makes me wonder what fitness means. Because he does look like I'm being honest. I'm just trying to be fair. RFK Jr., when you talk about just like his figure, he does look healthier than most 70-year-olds. But then everything he says seems like it would kill anybody. Like everything he describes doing, he's like, oh yeah, I just been eating wheatgrass for 67 years. You're like, nothing else? No. And that's not even, that's a bad example because that's not actually a true thing he said. The true thing he said was that he eats roadkill. And it's like that, all right, I feel like that would take me out, so. It feels like a weird balance of health that he has. Like in one instance, he's like ripped at 70. It's like, okay, how do you pull that off? And then he'll also talk about eating a bear carcass. And you're like, there's no way. There's just no way. And so it starts with them flexing at what looks like a different camera. And Kid Rock got a towel over his shoulder that's covering up a lot. It's covering up a lot of body. And I get it, because if I'm honest, like once again, I'd say a lot of things. But if I had to stand next to RFK Jr. and he looked better than me, I'd have a whole toga on. I'd be like, you're not catching me today looking smooth while you looking ripped. That's not the cards for me. And then it shows them, the camera pans to a taxidermied bear with a hat on holding what looks like a sword. And that's when I started to lose where we were doing health. If the ad was like 2 seconds and was then be like, ugh, and then it was make America healthy again, I'd be like, all right, that's weird. But at least it was all about like looking a certain. Once I saw the bear, I was like, what's happening? And then it said like Kid Rock and Robert Kennedy Jr. present. And as soon as it said present, you could hear Kid Rock in the background doing one of his songs. The way they layered the ad as far as like just sonically, like the mix is insane, and then visually too much is going on. Because then you had a Kid Rock song play. I don't know what he was saying. So that's in your ear, right? So if you had your AirPods in, you're like, who in the room with me right now? Because it doesn't look like a music video for what they do. And then in front of you, you see the image of the bear melt to just the flag flowing and a shark for no reason. Also, it's very important that I point out, it's been 4 seconds. The whole ad is insane. You gotta watch it. So you see the shark for no reason, and the shark that pops up out of the water, I'm like, is that the shark from Jaws? Like, what does that have to do with anything? And it said that, Kid Rock and Robert Kennedy Jr. present Rock Out Workout. And then you see a bald eagle, once again, for no reason. Found footage, it looks like, of a bald eagle flying. And then they cut to RFK Jr. and Kid Rock walking like away from the camera. We're looking at their backs now, walking away from the camera in slow motion. All right. The problem with the slow motion that they did is that it seems like in real life, Kid Rock and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. were just walking slow. So it's extra slow motion because it was slow movement. So what are you slowing down? If they had been running, you'd be like, oh, they about to get it because it's slow. But they were like... And then, while we're cutting between them walking in slow motion, we see them holding a flag outside by the pool across what looks like a mini Statue of Liberty. Kid Rock's house is insane. If this is his home, I don't know why he has anything in there the way he has it. And then Kid Rock is taking his shirt off, once again, in slow motion. It's up in the air. And then right as he's about to like pop RFK Jr. on the butt with his shirt, we see flames, just flames like an explosion. And then it cuts to them working out as RFK Jr. doing the curls. And once again, RFK Jr. has like genuinely, like has a strong looking body. Kid Rock looks exactly how you think he would look. Like it. I've never seen somebody's body, because okay, remember in COVID when you met people masked up and then you finally saw the second half of their face and then you realized you didn't put faces together the way you thought you did? Do you remember those old slide games where you'd have to like mix and match faces and you're like, I played that when I was little. I know what the bottom of their mouth looked like. And then as soon as they took off the mask, like as soon as everybody vaccinated, we can take them off, and you saw them. I met so many people twice. When I tell you people who I met and I became friends with during COVID, and then they over here, hey Josh, how you doing? I'm like, hi sir, how are you? Didn't recognize him at all. I don't understand how faces work in the league. If you cut off here, you basically don't have a face to me anymore. So then you see Kid Rock, and you see him working, like RFK Jr. is like working out, and then you see Kid Rock doing some sit-ups. And they cut from the first sit-up that he was doing by himself to a sit-up where RFK Jr. holding his feet. Which means the people making this insane ad, this truly like out of human consciousness ad, saw Kid Rock do a sit-up and they were like, not like that. And when it got RFK Jr. to hold his feet, and look, you should hopefully be in a position where if you are out here doing sit-ups, you can have a friend, they're working out with you, that holds your feet. I'm not making fun of that at all. What I do think is unfortunate is that clearly they had done several takes, because Kid Rock did the first sit-up no problem. I don't know what happened between sit-up 1, 2, and 3, but the third one, it seemed like he was fighting for his life coming up. First one, he's over here. Second one. Third one. I was like, y'all just use the earlier takes. Like, y'all already had flames for no reason. Why do you have to use the actual take of him struggling a bit? And then after that, we see them in a sauna. And they're in the sauna, and maybe I've been using saunas wrong my whole life. I thought you got in the sauna to like sweat it out, or I thought you were supposed to sit in there, chat about business or something like that. They had the exercise bike in the sauna, which seemed like a guarantee for a heart attack. That seemed like heart attack recipe right there. Just get a sauna, get exercise bike, hop on, and die. And so they took turns. Whoever was on the exercise bike was, looking at the camera, and then the other one would just be in the background of the sauna doing push-ups. And I was like, all right, I guess if you're trying to sweat extra, this makes sense, but I've always just sat in the sauna. Right afterwards, RFK Jr. walks out of the sauna and jeans hops into a cold plunge. Let me tell you the psychotic behavior of jeans on cold plunge. A cold plunge is already something you have to get your mind right to do. You already have to get yourself, all right, it's going to be good for me, helps muscles, calm down the nervous system, whatever your reasons are for getting in there. To get in there in jeans means that you have left society behind. I saw this man hop into a cold plunge in jeans. I'm like, there's no human way. This man hopped in and obviously barefoot. Took off the socks and the shoes like you would before you get in, but left the jeans on. Do you not wear underwear, sir? I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. I wouldn't be surprised if he was like, no, I actually just wrap my undergarments in barbed wire. It's good for. He gets out of the cold plunge and then just starts walking around Kid Rock's house looking for Kid Rock in what is one of the worst stage sketch portions of anything I've ever watched. Because he's clearly supposed to, for this next scene, find Kid Rock and then bring him to do the next activity. Because Kid Rock's lounging around, right? He's not taking it serious. Come on, Kid Rock. We got more working out to do, right? The problem is he walking around Kid Rock house wet, in wet jeans, stops right in front of the camera and goes, "Where's Kid?" Not only do you know the answer, but please, I'm begging you, in the time that we're living in the year that we're living in this administration that we're under, please, as a 70-year-old man, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, please do not walk around soaking wet in jeans saying, "Where's Kid?" The idea that this man walk around somebody's house dripping wet, "Where's Kid?" You better have dementia. You walking around here, "Where's Kid?" And then he finds Kid Rock lounging around in the pool and everything, and then he's like, come on. So they can go play pickleball. Pickleball. The healthiest pastime of all time. Pickleball. They had a little face-off, and then every time they hit the ball, it would either be lightning bolts or flames that they had imposed onto the screen. But they play a couple of serves of pickleball, and then they go back to the pool. RFK Jr. takes his shirt off again, and then with jeans, jumps into the pool. He loved being wet with jeans. This man's favorite thing is being wet with jeans. I thought it was eating roadkill, but apparently it's being wet with jeans. And then they both had a glass. They both had a glass. They both toasted. They knocked glasses together. And it wasn't water. It wasn't water. You should drink your water. It's good for you. Please drink water. Stay hydrated. It's very important, especially when it's hot out. Drink your water. Drink water every day. Take care of yourselves and drink your water. They were not drinking water. They were drinking milk in the pool. This is one of the sickest things I've seen in a long time. This is, look. If you come to my house and drink milk in my pool, I'm calling an exorcist. I'm calling an exorcist immediately. There's no way you should be drinking milk in the pool. I was raised, personally, I don't know about y'all, but it's hard to tell what was actual passed down wisdom and what was just stuff people told you when you were little. I was told you shouldn't eat or drink 30 minutes before you get in the pool. I thought that they were like, don't do that, you'll cramp up. My mom would tell me that all the time. Don't get in the pool. If it's been less than 30 minutes since you ate or drank, you'll cramp up in the pool and you'll die. And the confidence with which she told me I'd die was startling, because I'm like, but you'll be there. Why would I still die? She made it sound like she'd stand at the edge of the pool and be like, I always save people who listen, so sound like that's you. No, I was, blown away. I was like, yeah, I don't eat or drink 30 minutes before you get in the pool. I even heard some people grew up hearing 45 minutes. I don't even know how that's possible. If you have a pool party, nobody's gonna make it in. But they were sitting in the pool, drinking milk, and then the text came over on the screen that said whole milk, as if that was our problem with this. As if they jumped in the pool and started drinking milk and we were like, that better not be 2%. Oh, I'm gonna lose my mind if they drink 1% milk in the pool right now. They even had the whole milk font they used was also disgusting because it was dripping. It was like, remember the Goosebumps font? Like it was that. It said that, but whole milk. And the W falling off, like a W dripping. It looked like, you remember Slime Time on Nickelodeon? It was like, they just toasted and drinking whole. Oh, imagine. Oh, this is so unfair. Imagine being in the pool and somebody got a milk mustache on. No. If you're ever in the pool with somebody and they got a milk mustache and then they go under the water, drown them. Like that's not somebody we need back up here with us. That's insanity. It's very weird just to watch them in the pool together and then they were over here toasted. Kid Rock raised his glass of milk with that mouthful of milk, and then came over black, make America healthy again. And the thing about an ad is it's supposed to raise awareness or make you want something. And in this ad alone, you've turned people off of saunas, off of cold plunges, off of jeans maybe, who knows? Like this. I put on my jeans today, was thinking about how RFK was dripping at Kid Rock's house. I've been trying to find positive things on the internet, which has been difficult. It's difficult when you have a problem of being like chronically online, but you also want to be positive. I was in a roller coaster this past week. That little monkey punch. Yeah, this is crazy. All right, for those of y'all not on, I know you probably didn't see it because as viral as it went, it's all splintered now. So there was this little monkey called Punch, which already too cute of a name. You got to name him like, Derek or something. You can't just like Punch is like too sweet. And there's a baby monkey and he's at the zoo and he wasn't accepted by the other monkeys. And so the zookeepers gave him like this little plushie monkey. And so he brought the plushie monkey everywhere with him because it was his only friend, And it was really sweet to see him with the plushie, but then he'd go up to other monkeys and they'd be like, like some of the monkeys are actually bullying him, which was really sad to watch. He was running from me, he was scared and stuff like that. But then every once in a while he'd walk up to the monkey and then another monkey would be like, is he carrying a dead body? Like he's still I couldn't decide if the monkeys didn't like him because he had a toy and they didn't, or didn't like him because they didn't like how attached he was to the plushie. But then there was a part of me that was like, no, if you're a monkey, you don't have any concept of what like a plushie is. So they're probably like, I think this little one, they named him Punch. He probably killed. You know he murdered a monkey. And so we're all on the internet like, leave Punch alone. But the monkeys in there are like, yay, look, if he walk up, you gotta square up because this one to kill him. This one really, he really lived that life. You see, he killed that other one, been dragging him around and hugging him. No, he been hugging. That's a real psychopath to kill somebody and then be like, I miss you, dog. Like that's terrifying. I've never seen that in my life. I had to be rescued from the wild. I've never seen anything like that ever. Joe, it's crazy. And so then you saw them like, he would walk up and they run away and everything, or they like, ignore him, like they just straight up turn around. And that was probably one of the coldest. A monkey turning around on you is so disrespectful because you know how smart they are. Like that means they exactly mean to do that. You know what I mean? Sometimes my dog will fall asleep with me on the couch and he'll fall asleep close. It's very sweet. He has his little legs like on my chest, something like that, and I'm watching TV, I'm laying my head on the pillow, and then he'll fart. This dog will fart. This dog farted in my eye. This dog farted way too close to my face. Because when they're laying there so cute, you forget that they can be disgusting. And so you let them lay too close to you or the pillow. And so my dog farted. I spring up because my dog has farted in my right eye. And because I spring up, my dog wakes up. When my dog wakes up, he's like, It's not intentional at all. When a monkey turns its back on you, it means exactly what we mean when we turn our backs on you. Like, Punch will walk up. Hey, y'all. How's it going? They turn around. At first, when I first saw it, I got mad. I was like, y'all leave. Just let Punch hang out with you. Y'all not going anywhere. It's a zoo. There's nowhere else for you to be. You might as well make friends. You got your minds over here ostracizing little Punch. That's why he got the plushie now, because y'all not nice to him. But now when I think about it, like, let's say Punch is right here and then walks up and he's like, hey, and then you turn around. Maybe they weren't turning around like, Maybe they were like, okay, y'all, wait, is he still behind me? Is he still behind me? Well, if you don't know, look.
I've been very excited to come back to Asheville. Mainly because, I'll be honest with you, all right, this is as a visitor, this is outside looking in, I'm telling you. Y'all's food has no business being as good as it is. This is crazy. I live in New York and I'll meet people who are from Asheville and they'll tell you which 9 places to go. And usually when someone gives you a list of places to go and the list is longer than you could possibly visit, they're like, okay, here's 9 things, but these 3 are what you really want to make sure you don't miss. The others are really good, but these 3 are the best. Don't let yourself miss out. And I went to ask my friend, we got 9 recommendations. And I was like, so which are like the top 3? And they were like, top. I gave you 9 because you should go to 9. Like, I'm only here for a day. How am I going to make it to 9 plays? They're like, you need to make time is what you need to do. Y'all have a thing here where because the food is so good and some people aren't expecting it, you know, you get people who just involuntary. You know, you're at a restaurant, you're enjoying your food. It's good food, but you're used to good food. And then you hear someone else who's, I guess, used to gruel. So then they taste the food and they're like, oh. And those sort of sounds, I think they're meant to be involuntary. You know, it's kind of like a laugh. It's like if you try to force a laugh, you look insane. But if somebody makes you laugh and it's genuine, it's organic, you can feel it, it's a beautiful thing. When someone cooks something so good that it makes you just go like, wow. You can tell a difference when somebody's cooked something nasty and you try to keep up appearances because these are like your new in-laws or whatever, and you don't want to make a bad impression even though you didn't cook it, you know what I mean? But you want to be polite, and so you try it and you're like, oh, like you can't even remember how to do a decent one. The impression of a is so bad when it's not good. Oh, yeah. No, I've tried to fake an before. I did. I was at a friend's place and I hadn't seen her in a while, and then she was cooking. So when she cooked, I was like, that's nice that someone would make me a meal. I'm gonna at least try it. It was okay. She had made these like barbecue pork chops, but then had put them into like her own version of a pad thai. Thank you. There's a time to experiment, and then there's a time to be regular. Like, master being regular before you go off into your own realm of foods that don't exist like that. Like, she didn't try to recreate like an actual Chinese dish or something like that. This was just something she was like, yeah, I just threw something together. And it's like, don't ever throw again. You need to be pitching underhanded the way that you... This is crazy. Okay, so... The plate had 3 pork chops on it. And it had, you know, the noodles and some veggies and stuff. And the sauce was great, but this is the thing. A lot of people like to hide behind sauce. All right? There's a lot of culinary cowards out there. Terrified of their own cooking, so they're like, let's lather it in sauce. Let's basically make it crunchy or chewy sauce. And so she had the sauce in there, and I don't know how she did it. I don't know what happened. But one of those pork chops was raw. And this is the magic trick of it. I watched them be on the grill. I watched it happen. I watched her put all 3. I watched her flip all 3. I watched her take all 3 and put them on the plate. And then one of them just protested. One of them was like, no, being murdered was bad enough. I will not be cooked. And what do? I got this plate of food in front of me, and you know, if you go to somebody's place, and you're like, oh, I just ate. I just ate. Now that gets you out of a little bit of trouble. You still gotta taste it, whatever it is, but no one expects you to finish it. You just ate. And then if they ask you what you ate, you come up with like 4 or 5 dishes. Show them you have no room in your stomach. But I had said I ate before I got there, which was true. I was never gonna finish this whole plate, but I bit into the first pork chop, and it was halfway decent. It was a little tough. It took more chewing than felt comfortable or right. It didn't feel like eating so much as training my jaw. It felt like one of the only things missing from those Rocky montages. Like he need to run up the stairs, he need to punch the meat, but then he need to chew this. And then he'll be able to take on that Russian one that gave him so much trouble, gave him all the brain damage. You remember Rocky IV. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, I gotta bite each one of these, because then that looks the messiest, and then that looks like I at least gave it a fair shot. Also, taking a bite out of each one ensures she'll never do this to anybody ever again, because she can't repurpose it as leftovers. Because the only thing worse than nasty food is nasty leftovers. That means that somebody saw what they cooked and decided it wasn't a war crime, and then put it in a refrigerator and then microwaved it, because you know how bad food's always better after being in the microwave. And so I went to take a bite of the second one, and it was somehow just as chewy as the first one. But that second one was, you could tell, I was like, man, this is gonna be the thing that takes me out. This is raw meat. This is raw meat with sauce. I don't know how she did it to me, but she really gonna kill me. This is an op. And so then I took a bite of the third one. And the third one actually, wow, Goldilocks, because that one was not bad. That one, and maybe it took less chewing, or maybe my jaw had just been conditioned to the point where this third one was like easy money, because I was used to eating raw pork chop and eating tough pork chop. Said all that to say that she had the nerve. She had, okay. She's a good person, but she had the wherewithal, which is insane. She had the wherewithal to ask me how it was, even though she could see my eyes, because I was giving it away. I was tearing up. I was eating raw meat to be polite to you, my friend. You know, I'm not doing what I want to do. What I want to do is, why would you do this to me? Why would you, after the first bite, why would you do this to me? I thought we had a real friendship. Why would you try? Who put you up to it? But I was like, she's like, how is it? I was like, already my eyes are too wide for me to lie. How is it? You see how it's not believable? Well, it's nice to be here under what should be pretty good circumstances. It seems like, we've heard this before, we've heard it many times, so we don't know, but it seems like, but we have no full proof, but it seems like, but it seemed like a few times, but it seems like, but we're almost sure this time. It's been on the news a bunch now, so it should be true, but also that doesn't mean anything. And so this time it should be for good, but also it gets said that it's for good every 2 days. But we are almost certain now, because everybody flew and everybody signed the thing, that the war is over. Yeah. That, I really want to believe it. I want to believe it so bad. They even flew to Versailles and signed it at Versailles. I didn't know Versailles had special powers like that, that like, if it happened in Versailles, it's gotta be true. I didn't, but they even flew to sign it. And when he was walking out, even Trump was like, they signed it. No takesies, backsies, they signed it. You know, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that the war as we know it is over. Remember the war that wasn't a war? We went to a lot of trouble signing a whole peace deal for something that wasn't a war. And it's not technically it's a peace deal, but technically it's this like memorandum of understanding, which basically means like, all right, I'll stop if you stop. All right, but if you stop, stop. I won't do anything if you don't do anything. Okay. It's a lot like that moment. This entire war feels like a bar that I went to one time where I sat down, and I don't drink. I do shows at bars, but I don't drink. So I'm just there very aware. And let me tell you, it doesn't feel great all the time. You know, there's nothing like, at least if I drank and then I had a bad set, I'd be like, I think it went okay. You know, but But no, being stone cold sober, you're like, they didn't like me. And I remember I was doing this show. I got done. I'm waiting for my friends to finish too, because my friends also went up at the show. And so I'm watching them in the background. And in the back, these two dudes started fighting. And they were two dudes that nobody wanted to see fight. Because one, I don't like to just see people fight out of nowhere. If a fight is already happening, I will be nosy, yes. But if it's just like two people talking to each other and then like things get violent, I don't want to see anybody get hurt. But especially these two dudes. You did not want to see these two dudes fight because neither one of them looked fit. Like this is about to be a very sloppy fight. This is about to be devastating. Because they both had that thing where they've been thinking about fighting for a long time. And then they finally met each other. So then they get to fighting. And when I tell you that two people who don't know each other but were so perfectly made for this moment got winded at the same time, both these men lasted about 6 punches before they were like, one dude, first of all, they had no distance management at all, so they were missing a lot. It actually took a while for either one of them to connect at all. Their first few swings were all missing. What dude, okay. He went to kick this dude, right? And he even took a stance. And when somebody takes a stance like that, in your mind you think, uh-oh, this person knows how to fight. This person trains. Both of them were like middle-aged men and both of them were not fit. And so it never occurred to me that if somebody takes a stance, maybe you're like, whoa, this guy trains. Or new options after I saw this, wow, this guy used to train. This guy has seen a bunch of movies, so he knows exactly how to stand like the dude in the movie. But that's where the relationship between what happened in the movie and what's about to happen completely ends. Because this dude took a stance, right? And then he went in for the kick, and he even kicked right. Like he even kicked, and the follow through looked good and everything. The way he gave himself away is that he made the noise. He made the noise early. You don't need the noise, by the way. That's how you can tell when somebody doesn't fight. You don't need the noise. You actually don't. That thing is an old. You don't. That's not real. Nobody's actually doing that. The only people that do that are in the movie, and the only people that do that in real life are copying the movie. Like, that's not... Okay, so this is a piece of film lore that I have been told. I don't know how true it is, but basically way back in the day, when we're talking like some of those early big mainstream kung fu movies like Bruce Lee, right? Bruce Lee was doing these scenes, but he was doing them with like real technique, and because he really knew how to fight, he was over here... That is real. Like when you hear somebody, that they're boxing you up. That's all you're gonna hear. You're gonna hear them whispering a beat down, right? So if somebody's boxing up, that's a real thing. But then because he's so quiet and because the moves are like so unfamiliar to the audience, the director was like, hey, you're gonna have to give us something else so we understand something's about to happen. Like we don't even know that's your power shot because it's so fast and you're just like, and then it's over. And then I don't know if they told Bruce Lee to do it or if it was Bruce Lee's idea to do it, but he was like, Kia! Like that, like that's not a real thing. And also, he even when he did in the movie, he did it while he was doing the thing. Kia! You know what I mean? Like, Kia! You know, this dude just did a whole Kia! But like hadn't moved yet. What are you doing right now? Like that... You missed it. You hit key and you missed y'all. What's happening? So then the dude went to kick the dude and he was like, Kia! And then kicked later. I thought I was having a stroke. I was like, surely this man didn't make the whole noise and then move. There's no way. This man went, Kia! And then he went to kick, and he kicked right, but he just completely missed. This man spun in a circle and landed right back where he was and looked dizzy. How dare you kick in public like that and just do a pirouette? Like, the man, no, this is insane. Then dude realized this is opportunity. This man got himself all confused. He spun in a circle. He's dizzy. The room is spinning. This is where I take my opportunity. So then he geared up. But like even the way he was trying to throw this uppercut doesn't make any sense. He tried to throw. He tried to throw the uppercut like a cartoon because rather than just being here and then punching up, this man had. This man had his fist up here and was really gonna make a whole U-turn up. This dude went, and then he swung, and then he missed, and then he hit the wall. This man punched the wall so hard, he had to have busted something. He punched the wall so hard, and then he did a thing that like we all do at some point. I don't know what this is. I used to think I was alone until I saw him do this thing. He punched the wall instead of the guy he was trying to punch, and then immediately he just put his fist in his armpit. Why do we do that? Like that's a crazy thing to do. That doesn't heal anything. It's like I need to hide it real quick because if light doesn't touch it, it'll heal fast. I only broke 3 knuckles. And then this dude sees, right? He sees that this guy is like holding his fist in his armpit. And so he decides this is his chance for another kick. But he learned his lesson. He didn't go for that like mid-height kick again. This man went for a low kick. He was gonna kick him in his calf, really take away his mobility, right? And so he went to kick him in his calf, and he really reared back too. This man reared back like fully. He hit the full kick, right? And then something must have gone wrong because right about here he went, ah! And so right about here he went, ah! And then I know his back locked up because he didn't move. He didn't look like a balanced guy. So that's just frozen. That's just you locked in, right? Ah, ah, ah! So you had my man right here, and you had the other man, and I didn't know it at the time, but I was basically looking at what the U.S.-Iran war would look like. Because to a degree, I understand what some people are saying. They're like, this has been an embarrassment on the part of our tactics in war. The fact that we have all of these bases, all of this money, all of these resources, and Iran fought us off with some like drones you could get at Target with some bombs strapped to them. And I don't know. Obviously, the easy thing to do, the easy thing to say is just that you want peace. It's a human thing to do. I just want peace. I just want everybody to get along. And sometimes you run into the unfortunate truth of that is just not the world we currently live in. It is delusional to be like, oh yeah, everything's going on, yeah, but just like throw some peace on top of that. And it's like what is happening is why we don't have peace. And so you get this deal. This deal, by the way, which comes from us needing a deal after we attacked them again. We had already hit them before. We already, like every time Trump's been president, we've hit them a little bit. And then we went in because we were feeling ourselves after Venezuela. You remember Venezuela, that sovereign nation where we went and got their president on a random day? Everybody was confused. World leaders were confused. He was confused. He over here sitting in jail like... And And I'm not saying, look, I'm not saying on his own, through his own actions, in a different timeline of justice, that he doesn't deserve jail. But just the way that we did it, I'm sure felt weird. Do you know what I mean? The way that we were like, yeah, let's go get him. He's a terrible criminal. And then we did. And then the people of Venezuela were like, all right, so, thanks, I guess. But what's the plan now? And we were like, oh, y'all figure it out. We just grabbed him. But then we needed a new plan. We needed something because we tore up the old plan. You know, Obama's Iran deal. Trump pulled us out of Obama's Iran deal because he was like, I can get a better, we don't even need to do this deal. I can get a better deal. I can get a better deal. I'm a deal maker. Look, y'all don't even know who you're talking to. I can get, as far as deals go, you wouldn't even believe. Have you read the book? Because I did it. I'm the Picasso of deals. I'm a dealer. I'm surprised I don't work at one of my own casinos. I deal so hard. I'm going crazy right now off of deals. I got deals like y'all. That's y'all's problem, is y'all don't understand what a deal is. You know, we're in a deal right now. You didn't even know. I'm just that good. See, look, watch a master work. All right, sick of y'all doubting me. And plenty of people, you know, not across the aisle as in an equivalent number, but plenty of people, no matter their political party, were like, okay, but what is your plan? What is your deal? And he's like, I'll get to it. And then they were like, well, you already tore it up, so you better come up with one quick. And he was like, no, I'm sure it'll be fine. And He didn't have a better deal, but he believed he could get one. He was mad too whenever people brought up Obama's deal, because he had to tear up Obama's deal just to get us in this situation. And so everyone reminds him of Obama's deal, so he's living under the shadow of Obama's deal. It makes him very mad. Yeah, it just feels like something he did for his own ego, because he didn't like that Obama got a deal. He didn't like that Obama got something that he didn't have. It's like why he's been so obsessed with Nobel Peace Prize. He can't stand that people look back at Obama as like a great president, and it takes a toll on him. It's wild to me. He clearly thinks about Obama he thinks about Obama more than I think about Obama. You have to understand that this man hates Obama so much that he thinks about him more than someone who was like, oh, that's the first black president. He thinks about him way more than I think about Obama. It's wild. Like, okay, a good example. Okay, do this for me real quick. Every single one of you in here, close your eyes. 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 Some people are still peeking. Close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. Okay. So when you close your eyes, it is black, and Trump hates that. Like, he hates that. He hates that so much, right? And I think that, like, obviously we're normal people. So when we close our eyes, we see regular black. But I think when Trump closes his eyes, he sees Obama. Like, he must see Obama every time he closes his eyes, which must be why he's so upset all the time, because he's sleeping so much. He sleeps more than he's supposed to be sleeping. There's 8 hours in the day where you're supposed to see Obama, right? And then there's extra time as you get older. You need more naps, so you see Obama more often. But like, he's so mad that he sees Obama so much, and he's like, I can't let him have anything. It's insane. It's genuinely insane. And anyway, he pulled out of the deal because he was like, that's Obama's deal. I refuse to be a president under any deal made by Obama. I'm going to roll back all of his policies. I'm going to roll back all of his progress. As much of it as I can get away with, especially if I have Congress on my side, I'm going to roll back as much as possible. So I'm going to pull myself out of this deal. So he pulls out of the deal, and people are like, what are you doing? And he's like, you don't think I can get a better deal? You don't think I can get a better deal than Barack? You don't think I can get, you don't even know who you're talking to. You don't think I can get a better deal than Barack Hussein? You know he loved capitalizing at Hussein. That's his favorite thing to do. You don't think I get a better deal than Barack Hussein Obama? Come on now. I'm Trump. And then people in his cabinet were like, we know. We know, which is why we're asking. What is the plan? Why do you think you could get a better deal? Do you have a better relationship with the supreme leader? Do you have like a better, forward view of how you're gonna progress relations? And Trump was like, I'm white! You don't think I can do it? I'm white! And then here we are on the verge of a deal that was kind of hard to believe we got. I don't know, I think, but maybe not. He said it was over like 16 times. I think Trump's approach to war is like my approach to war. If I was president and we were at war, I'd be like, today too? We gotta do the war every day? Y'all need to chill. That's exhausting. Because he's been trying to end it because the war is not popular. The war is causing us pain here at home as Americans. It's also putting our military, our service men and women in danger. And it's not putting them, this is the other thing, because you can talk about every conflict the U.S. has been in and go over the merits of engaging or not, or what the plan even was, what we told the public versus what was actually done, what the actual missions were, right? But I don't think that in my adult life we've seen something so quickly and so blatantly be pointless in our faces. Like, there are a lot of people that have a lot of different theories, and some people are even saying that it's because things with Venezuela had so little consequence on the world stage, because we went over there and grabbed Venezuela's president and kind of just like went about business as usual. That's a wild thing. Like, that was their president. That was do you know what I mean? I don't know if you ever worked at like a grocery store or something, but imagine somebody kidnapped the district manager. And then it's just like, as you were. Like, it's... I think he's supposed to be here for us to be as we were. That man's so confused because right before we went and grabbed him, he was offering up deals left and right. He was like, look, I'll do anything. Just don't come get me. And they were like, oh, it's breaking up. We can't hear you. They were on the way to go get him. That dude literally was like, I'll give you all the oil. I'll leave. I won't even be Venezuelan anymore if it means you won't come get me. And they were like, oh yeah, we can't. I think he's right in the other room. We can't hear you. Can you check for a better signal? Can you maybe lean towards the window? Grab him. And that thing sort of went without real consequence. Like our allies were upset. A lot of the nations of the UN were shocked, but it was also like, what were they really gonna do about it, I think was the sentiment. And then on top of it, you don't have a figure that has a sort of like love of the people. You're talking about Maduro, so it's kind of like, oh yeah, y'all can go grab him. Like that was in the mind, I think, of a lot of people, because I have friends who were educating me on the whole thing. I really didn't know about it, and they were like, yeah, Maduro was so terrible that, yeah, sometimes the enemy of my enemy sort of thing. Like they were like, yeah, go ahead and get Maduro out, but also we will need a president, just so like y'all can't just grab the president and then be like, figure it out for yourselves. And so then we entered into this whole thing with Iran that was at first not a war. Remember when it wasn't a war? Remember when it was like a conflict? It was like conflict, and then it was a skirmish, and then it was an excursion. Excursion is, y'all, that's wild. Excursion's a cruise. That's a cruise. Y'all cannot say excursion for war. That's insane. You gonna have me thinking you had a totally different weekend. You tell me about excursions. If you told me you just got back from an excursion, I'd be like, yeah, you look tan. Like I can see it. No, I've been looking forward to an excursion myself. You know, I need a little break. I can go excurse. And then there was a deal, but then there wasn't a deal. But then there was. But then there wasn't. But then there was no need for a deal because we weren't at war. And then we were winning the war. Never forget we were winning. Did you feel like we were winning when we were winning? Or did you just feel sort of confused? And the entire time, you know, I was sitting there wondering. I was like, how do you get yourself out of this one? This isn't Venezuela. You're talking about a country with like 90 million people. You're also talking about a country that's far more advanced and sophisticated in military operations and its understanding of us than Venezuela was at the time. And so what do you do? What do you do? Because then every time you come out and say something, Iran also comes out and says what you're saying isn't true, but you need them to at least be quiet to calm people down for them to believe you. Because like he would come out and be like, hey, we had a great talk today. We had a real good talk, and I think things gonna wrap up soon. And then Iran would tweet like I've never seen. I don't even really know what account it was, but Iran would just tweet, like it wasn't at Iran. It was like a couple different accounts that were like privy to the information were like, nobody's talked to us today, so I don't know who he's talking to. You must feel so gaslit as Iran to be watching our news, and then he's like, yeah, we almost got this thing wrapped up. I got them right where I want them. And then everyone in the room is like, who we been talking to? No, it's wild. Because then he would be talking like extra reckless about what he was going to do next. But then it wouldn't happen. And so what do you do with that? Like we all carried this weight. I'll never forget that Tuesday that he was like, tonight a civilization is going to be. Woo! What? What? With your thumbs? That's quite. Somebody's gonna put in a history book that the president was like, tonight I'm killing everybody. And then look, thank God, like I'm being genuine, it didn't happen. And that's not to say that these strikes, that these attacks, there aren't people killed. I'm just saying that thing didn't happen. And so now you have this 14-point deal where Iran promises to do a bunch of stuff that it seems like they already weren't doing that much. And then we give them a bunch of stuff that seems pretty good for them. And it's just sort of wild. Like if you can just bear with me for a second. It is why I've been growing up and living here my entire life. I have watched politicians come and go. I've watched rhetoric change, policies change. And I don't pretend to know everything about foreign policy, about diplomacy, or about international laws. I find it like breathtakingly astounding that today of all day, like when you, in the history, they're going to point to today, because I think that only with distance can you understand the irony. It's got me like shaking how from the inception, the idea of an America all the way to present, with us being a superpower the world over, and with us saying that everything we do, we must do, and everything that we don't do, we can't do, or we can't do yet. It is mind-boggling that on Juneteenth, Iran is getting reparations. Like, just... like... Y'all know what day it is. That's what's Juneteenth. And look, I want everyone to do well, okay? Wow. I thought we couldn't afford it. I thought we couldn't afford, and I'm not even, look, this is the thing. I'm not even talking about like me personally. I'm like, ooh, that should be my money or anything like that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just thinking to myself, like, the natives didn't get a deal cut this quick, this way. Like, that's up until now, every time someone demanded restitution for something that the United States had done to them on our soil or abroad, we've been like, yeah, I hate it for you. Ooh, maybe in 50 years? Well, I'll be dead in 50 years and this will be more complicated. That is the point. Breaking off. And look, don't get me wrong, I understand that Iran is not getting a $300 billion check, but all the systems in place and all the planning is going to be to give them about $300 billion in essentially restitution, lifting sanctions. And I don't understand business. I clearly don't understand politics that well. But I think, if I'm being honest, as black people, we really just need to find what our Strait of Hormuz is. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think the only way we're gonna get our reparations if we just Strait of Hormuz the U.S. Iran already gave us the playbook. Just be like, look, listen. The black delegation has met and we've decided that until we are properly compensated for centuries of injustice and forced labor, no more music. How about that? How about no more music? No more music at all. We won't even be humming, okay? You won't even get any, no. That's done too. You won't even get a passing tune. It's all on you now. Go ahead. Let me see. Go ahead. Play the guitar dry. Play it. Make that guitar sound ashy. I want you to. What will it be? What will it take? You know what? Until we've been reconciled with by the U.S. government, we're gonna boil the chicken too. We're gonna boil it. Yeah, no, I'm talking just straight boil, like just hot water. Yeah, no. When we cut our chicken, you will see veins, okay? Yeah. No, we were shielding y'all for too long. The chicken is an animal. Some of y'all didn't even know that. Some of y'all had your chicken fried up, baked up, roasted up so good you think it's just chicken. No, it used to be something. Yeah, that's it. No more seasoning anything but crab. I mean, you gotta season the crab. That's just, Jeremy, like legally, yeah. But like, no more. No, that's it. You had your last little bit. And then the U.S. will do what it did to Iran. The U.S. will be like, we don't even need... we don't even need... You think you're so important, we don't even need you, though. We don't even need you like that. Go ahead, keep your music. No, keep it. I don't even want it. Yeah, I like being alone with my thoughts anyway. No, sometimes I just like just sitting and thinking anyway. We don't need your music. And let like a couple weeks pass. Because this is the thing, we work on reserves. One of the things the U.S. is really good at doing, especially when it commodifies something, is it's good at having a cushion. There's a cushion so you don't feel the pain right away. You know, oil prices can fluctuate. Goods can take a while to ship. You even saw it in COVID. You have supply chain issues, but you have this buffer. You have this like 3 months sometimes where a business stays completely normal, even though the world is falling apart. I'm sure they try to do the same thing. They'd hold out for a while. And then after like a couple months, the U.S. would approach the black delegation and be like, hey, look, okay, listen, all right, I understand you're upset, and we're working on terms, we don't have them yet, but my daughter does have a wedding. No, look, my daughter has a wedding, and please, I only got one daughter, she only gets married once, can you please, no, y'all gonna have to clap. You're gonna have to clap, stomp, whatever. And the U.S. will be like, we tried. We tried. It doesn't work when you're not there. We keep clapping on the 1 and the 4 and the 7. Every time my nephew tries to beatbox, it just sounds like applause and spit. Please. No, we're holding strong. You don't get any more. You didn't appreciate what you had. Remember, the strait was open. The strait was open before any of this. It's like it's like slapping somebody that forgot they had a gun on them. The strait was open. And then you did this, and then they closed it. And then they're like, okay, you know what, fine, we don't need you anyway. We don't need you. Nobody worried about you. And then they go off. 4 months pass. And come back, and they're like, oh. Look. We don't have a deal yet. We don't have a deal in place, but these are extenuating circumstances. And we do need somebody to sing because my grandmama died. All right. Grandmama died. Can you please just come sing? Give it some soul. Just give it make us feel like she went to heaven. Just. Please. No. Then maybe, who knows? Maybe one day they come back and they're like, look, okay, we did have an extra $300 billion we didn't tell you about. Please, I can't eat any more boiled meat. It's stuck. I've been constipated for 2 months. I think I'm gonna die soon, please. Yeah. And I'll even say this. I think that now we're in this stage where he has become the president that he said Biden was. We're like, it's weird. Okay, it's weird because like he was like, hey, Biden doesn't even know where he is half the day. And like they shuffle him from room to room and then you never see him and you're like, where is he? Does he know where he is? Whatever. And I don't know. I mean, the way he been looking and act like, I could easily see them sitting him in a room with a phone and being like, yeah, it's Iran. And then he's just on the phone all day. Because we know he can talk. He can go. He can go. Yeah, he's on the phone the whole day. Yeah, it's Iran. They want to talk to you. He's talking to Iran. That must be what he's talking about at the press conference. Like, we had a great conversation today with Iran. Everybody was there. Iran came. Got to talk to Abraham Lincoln. He said I was doing a great job. Yeah. Meanwhile, Iran is like, okay, so he wasn't talking to any of us. I don't know. It's crazy. Who would have thought that we would be attacking this country and then they would be sending back to us Lego movies? Like, just wildly, atrociously accurate Lego movie. What? Because you would want to celebrate if the war were really over. When something is over after a long time, and you didn't even know it would be possible, you're so overjoyed. You're so swept up in the celebration that you can like lose yourself in it, and you jump into the streets and you're celebrating with other people because everyone is so happy. Like, I think Trump wants us to celebrate the war being over the way New York celebrated the Knicks. Because at least with the Knicks, we knew that happened. Do you know what I mean? With the Knicks, we're like, yeah, we watched that. No, we know it's over now. This is great. Admittedly, I couldn't make it to the parade. I'm not that big of a man, and I wasn't ready to be trampled. You know what I mean? It's hard to cheer when somebody's stepping on your back. Oh, it was incredible. I remember the night the Knicks won. Okay, so the night they won, I wasn't in New York. I was in Canada, and so I was safe. No, because New York was wild. New York was, you had people, I've never seen people climb that many traffic lights. It takes a level of strength and skill to climb a traffic light, because last time I checked, the traffic light not built for climbing. It's kind of straightforward, up and across. I saw a dude doing pull-ups on a traffic light. You know how high stakes those pull-ups are? Oh, people were celebrating. There was a couple of. Here's the thing. I understand some of the celebrations because it's just you're just overwhelmed with joy. There was one person. There were people watching the game on the train, and so when they won, people on the train were losing their minds. And one woman just burst out in the song and had a amazing voice, right? And those are the type of moments that you look back on. You're like, this is just so beautiful. And then there's whatever the group wants to do to a bus. I don't know why it is that whenever a team wins, we gotta wreck a bus. We gotta. And some of the buses didn't make sense. Here's the thing. If you run out of an arena and there's a bus right there and a bunch of people push it and then it moves a little, it's like, wow, we can do anything together. And then you push again and it moves a little more. And then a couple people join because they're like, oh, they need help. And then you push again. And then you push it so hard that it actually bounces and it teeters back towards you. And that part's scary. But then you push again a little bit harder. And then it tips over. And you're like, yay! You're so overjoyed. You're like, yeah, wow, we knocked over the bus. Never mind, it's your bus home. This is still New York. You take the bus home. That was your bus. I don't know if you saw. It went like semi-viral. They had the parade, where the Knicks went to City Hall and everything, and everybody's in the streets, and it's early too. That's a tough parade to make because it starts at like 10 or whatever. It's like morning, and people are just hammered. And then there was this altercation on a traffic light where this woman had climbed onto the light, and then there was a woman underneath her. I guess she was trying to take a picture. And I don't really know who said what to who, because you can't hear anything because it's so loud, but you see them like going back and forth at each other. And so the woman up here is like talking, and then the woman looking up at her is like talking, and then she, does that. And I don't really know when they had a problem with each other, because that's also just how New Yorkers talk to each other sometimes. It's like sometimes a perfectly normal conversation is like, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like, but then the woman who was up higher tries to get down. And as she's trying to get down, a lot of people didn't see us at first. There's like 11 angles of this thing. But a lot of people didn't see it. So she tried to get down. And then the woman who was sitting there trying to take a picture pushes her foot, which could have made her fall. And so then the woman climbing down grabs her shirt and just sort of throws her like off the light pole with an ease that was eerie. She threw her so efficiently and quickly. As soon as she put her hand over there, she was over there. She threw her perfectly. And so then that woman falls to the ground and everything, and then that woman immediately gets up and is trying to pull. She pulls at the pants of the woman that was still on the light pole, and pulls and stretches. And it's crazy because the woman's pants stretched so far. And so then she was punching the woman on the butt. She clearly didn't have a plan here. This is an insane thing to do. She grabbed the pants and just punch, but she's just punching the butt. She's just punching the butt over and over again. And so then this woman who's getting her butt punched just starts twerking. She just starts twerking to let her know like she's not even bothered by it. Like she doesn't care that it's happening. And so she's just punching, and like you can tell the punches don't hurt because I can't hear the video. Once again, you still can't hear, but she's punching like she goes, like it's just. And then finally, the woman keeps twerking, but then does a twerking split across the barricade, still holding on to the light pole. And then she decides to get down and piece up the woman who was punching her on the butt. And I think that's actually a more accurate illustration of the U.S.-Iran war. Because I do think, I'm starting to think that the Lego videos were Iran twerking in our face.
I felt so dumb. I didn't realize a service dog and an emotional support dog were two different things. I knew they were different because the names are different, but I didn't realize in which ways they were different. A service dog is trained. That's a trained animal to take care of the person that has the need that they help with. An emotional support dog is just a dog you feel a connection to that you just get to emotionally support. The dog doesn't have a choice, really. The dog is... You just roll up on a dog one day and you're like, I'm gonna tell you everything. That's... Wow, I did not know. Had no idea. And I bring it up because my friend, she got an emotional support dog for her husband without knowing that this dog was an emotional wreck. I don't know what's wrong with the dog. They bring the dog home. Something wrong with the dog throat, okay? I don't know what it is, but it can't bark right. So it doesn't bark, it just screams, okay? And not like a yelp. This isn't sad. This is worse than that. It just screams human screams, okay? So the dog, I was on the phone with her, heard the dog in the background, and the dog was like, oh! That's just all the time. That's all day what the dog does. Nonstop. It's crazy. The dog has bad nerves, and so it screams all the time. Everything sets it off. You pet the dog, it'll scream, and then it'll let you pet it, right? Because you snuck up on it to pet it. So you pet it, you're like, oh. It's terrible. Dog's a light sleeper, too. So the dog will be taking naps, the most Instagrammable naps you've ever seen. Just like belly up, paws down, everything. And it'll still be snoring little puppy snores, too, like, oh. That's how it wakes up every day. And so she's like, my life is hell. This is terrible because I got the dog as a emotional support dog for my husband, not knowing that the dog is anxious and my husband's anxious. So the dog is emotionally supporting the husband just in the wrong direction. You know what I mean? Because then the husband is like, I don't feel so good. And the dog's like, yeah, you're right. It's a lot to be worried about, dog. It's crazy out here. What's that over there? Huh? Like, that's what it's doing all the time. She can't get any sleep because the dog sleeps with them. So the dog sleeps in between. It's actually adorable. It's like very like home living. Her right here, dog over here, husband over here. But they live in like a noisy apartment, paper thin walls, so you can hear the door slam from down the hall, right? And so the dog waking up all night. So somebody will slam the door down the hall, a door that has nothing to do with them, that is none of their business, and the dog will be like, oh! And then her husband will be like, ah! And then she will be like, ah! That's just all day. That's just going and revolving. This domino effect of screams. It got so bad, someone called the police. Police show up to her door, knock. She answers like, hey, I'm here to do like a wellness check. Neighbor said that they heard screaming. And she's like, oh, no, I'm fine. I'm okay and everything. And my husband's here. Come over here. He comes over to the door. He's like, hey, I'm good. We're all good in here. And the cop is like, oh, okay, cool. Where's that third person? Because they said specifically that there was 3 people. And then she's like, no, it's just us here. So now they look like they've murdered a person. Like now it looks like a cover-up, right? And it's like, no, it's just here. Cop's writing down everything that they're saying. As the cop is writing, he dropped his pen, and the dog in the background is like, oh! And the cop sees the dog and is like, and then she's like, oh yeah, that must have been what it was. I got the dog from my husband, but it turns out that the dog is anxious and my husband is anxious. My life is hell. I can't. Oh. Okay. Have y'all seen how much trouble Lizzo is in? This is crazy. This is genuinely wild, you know? If you don't know, like, Lizzo has a lawsuit out that's, like, coming at her for, like, all types of discrimination and body shaming and stuff like that. And it's her fans who are, like, genuinely hurt. Her fans are very hurt by the whole thing. She lost 150,000 followers on Instagram alone in one day when the news broke. 150,000 followers in one day. That means even bots were like, I can't endorse this. This is unacceptable. But genuinely, I think this is the thing. I think that Lizzo's fans are so hurt because she's known to them and to a lot of the world as this like true beacon of like light, loving yourself, forget haters, embrace who you are and everything, which is why this should be a lesson to everybody in here, everyone listening to me right now. This is a lesson to all of us to never, ever become a positive influencer. Don't do it. Don't do it. There's too far to fall. Oh my God. I'm not even like a famous guy, but I still, in case I ever get there, tell people all the time that I can be a dick. Just to give myself some breathing room, you know what I mean? Just a little bit, you know? That way when I fall off my pedestal, I sprain my ankle instead of break my neck, you know what I mean? Because I'm human. Something's going to happen. Somebody's going to catch me on TikTok one day, just yelling at a United Airlines gate agent. And when I get caught, even people who don't know will be like, he always told us he was a dick. Like, kind of laid it all out there. It's tough. And I think that this is the reason that it's so tough for people. We do a thing that is not fair to us, and it's not fair to the people that we do it to, where we pull our role models, our like heroes, positive influences from people that we already like from doing other stuff. You notice that? We rarely ever make an actual activist famous. You know, there are people doing the work. There are people, whatever you care about, there are people in the world only doing that thing. But instead of finding them and lifting them up, we're like, no, after LeBron dunked, he looked in the camera and said, Black Lives Matter, bitch. So I think the cops have to stop. I think that's all we need to do, really. We can't keep doing this thing where we conflate talent for character. You know? You got to be very careful. Be very careful of the people that seek power and the people that seek fame, because they're usually the same. And then we act surprised when we see their worst sides, you know? And we only do this thing with celebrities. You never do that with a regular dude with a regular job. You know what I mean? Somebody can sing. Doesn't make Martin Luther King. You know? We never do it to regular people. I've never had a plumber that was so good, I was like, he must be a good dad. Like, there's something about the way he plumbed that just spelled father figure. You know what I mean? Like, the way he be pulling it out. I go the other way now. Now when I see somebody super talented out here dancing, popping and locking and stuff, I'm like, oh, he probably beat people. Like, I can see it. Yeah, because he knows the moves. He knows how to choke. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know. We don't know what happened. We can feel how we feel, but we don't know, right? But I will say, it doesn't help that Lizzo hired Cosby's lawyer. That's I don't know. We don't know, but that doesn't feel good. You know what I mean? It just doesn't. I don't know how to describe it, but like, if you ever told me, you told people and you confront me and you were like, you did this thing, and I was like, hey, I didn't do that shit. Give me the nigga that Cosby got. All right. Like I said. No. Just doesn't sit well, you know. All right. I have to go soon. Everybody's had a gun story so far, so I figure I'll tell a quick one. I was in Texas. Texas is like open carry, you know. And so I saw these two dudes. I was in Target, right? And I saw these two dudes bump into each other, and they both whipped around. And they didn't seem angry, but they were checking each other up and down. I was like, this is some like alpha male type thing is about to happen, right? And then one was like, I see you're carrying. And the guy went, I sure am. And like, I should point out real quick that this is at the self-checkout at Target, so I'm just trying to ring myself up. Like, I'm over, but he over here and he over here, so I'm gonna get shot because I'm in between, right? You can't have a standoff with somebody in the middle. No Western has ever done that, you know what I mean? So I'm like, y'all, please, we are in Target. And so then he's like, I sure am. And the other guy's like, so am I. And the guy who did this goes, oh my God, we have the same gun. Oh my God, that's so tough. They both pulled out their guns and they both had the same like camo print, everything. I was like, wow, what an adorable outing. You all were so great. Thank you so much. I'm Josh Johnson. Have a good night.